You've probably been here before. You're trying to capture the perfect picture, a dog jumping in the air, a child blowing out candles, and suddenly a pop-up ruins the moment. Storage full. For decades, we had to rely on physical objects to hold our digital lives. If a disk filled up or a hard drive broke, you either had to spend hours transferring files by hand, or you just lost those memories forever. Today, we have a solution called the cloud. But that name can be a bit confusing. It makes the technology sound like a mysterious, invisible void floating somewhere up in the sky, where our files just disappear. In reality, the cloud is a physical thing. It is someone else's computer connected to the internet. You are simply using their hard drive space instead of relying only on the space inside your own device. When you save a file to the cloud, you take the burden of protecting that file off of the fragile device in your pocket and hand it over to specialized equipment and buildings designed to keep it safe. Let's follow a single photo from your phone. The moment you take it, your phone connects to a local Wi-Fi or cellular network and sends that image out as a stream of data. This animated diagram shows what happens next. The bright pulse is your photo traveling across the internet. Notice how it actively changes direction to bypass slow traffic jams, finding the absolute fastest path to its destination. Where does it end up? Not in a fluffy cloud, but in a physical building called a data center. These are massive, warehouse-sized facilities filled with rows of humming computers. If you've ever seen a small business's local server room, it often looks like this, a chaotic, tangled mess of cables that seems incredibly easy to unplug by accident. Professional cloud providers replace that mess with fortress-like security. To even get near the servers holding your photos, a person has to pass 24/7 armed guards, locked steel doors, and prove who they are with fingerprint scanners and other body-scanning locks. Once your file arrives, it gets wrapped in a layer of digital armor called encryption. Think of encryption as an unbreakable mathematical lockbox. Even if someone managed to steal the physical hard drive, they would just see a scrambled, unreadable mess without your specific key. Your phone can be dropped in a puddle or left on the bus. By moving your data into these highly secured, professionally managed facilities, it becomes exponentially safer than it ever was in your pocket. Beyond simple storage, these servers act as busy, automated hubs. They constantly monitor your account and run background programs, keeping your information updated across the world. This animated diagram shows the core operating concept of the modern cloud, called synchronization. Watch the central server node. As it receives a file, it instantly splits the file and pushes those copies outward simultaneously. What this means for you is that the moment the cloud receives a photo from your phone, it instantly and invisibly pushes an identical copy to your tablet and your laptop. It works in reverse, too. If you edit a document on your laptop, the laptop sends that update back to the data center, which immediately updates all your other devices. Synchronization transforms the cloud into a unified ecosystem. You never have to manually email files to yourself again, because everything stays perfectly aligned in the background. Having all your devices perfectly linked is incredibly convenient, but this interconnected system has a hidden danger, especially when we make a human mistake. Because the cloud copies your actions, if you accidentally delete a photo on your phone, the system instantly deletes that file from the server and your laptop. This highlights a crucial warning. Because a single mistake wipes out everything, syncing is not a true backup. To truly protect against data loss, you have to create an actual local backup. You do this by taking those synced files from your computer and copying them onto a physical hard drive that you then unplug and store offline. By understanding the difference between syncing your active files and storing a disconnected backup, you ensure that a single slip of the finger won't destroy irreplaceable memories. We've established that the physical data centers are incredibly secure, so you might wonder how we still hear stories about digital accounts being exposed to thieves. The truth is, data exposure almost never happens because a hacker broke into a professional provider's server. It happens because a user sets an easy-to-guess password, leaving their own front door wide open. You can stop this by using two-factor authentication. It acts like an active digital bouncer for your account. Even if a thief manages to steal your password, this secondary shield stops them dead in their tracks because they don't have the temporary code sent directly to your phone. The steps to protect yourself are simple. Choose a reputable cloud provider, set a strong and unique password, and turn on two-factor authentication immediately. When you do that, you stop worrying about losing a device or running out of storage. The cloud simply becomes a reliable, highly secure network working tirelessly in the background, freeing you to stop managing files and start enjoying your memories.